Hi everybody, in this video I will briefly show how I implemented three main styles on my web page: the header, the buttons, and the background image with a gradient effect. So this is my web page. I've replaced the menu on the right top corner with a hover underline effect. And I also placed the college name on the left side of the screen and with two lines and different fonts to mimic a logo. I've also added some images and I put the college name here in the picture we're using Photoshop to make the website looks more real. Scrolling down, you find some buttons with a hover effects as well that underscore the future lessons. There is another image here where I've applied the same styling of the previous one, but the text on the left side, right side, sorry. And there is those buttons here designed to draw attention to the college's registry process. And this title here that I styled it the same way of this one up here. So now I will briefly demonstrate how I made the mailing styles in the code. First, I added three different fonts, intending to use two different fonts for the college's name and one for the rest of the content. I placed the H1, which includes the name of the college, and the navigation bar inside the class header content, which are the elements I want inside the header. I also added a different class to the college community using a span because I wanted it to have a different style than the navigation bar text. I also removed the list elements from the nav to get rid of the bullets on them. And this was the final result of the header code in HTML. Now let's see how I styled the elements of the header with CSS. First, I removed the max width of the body, making the content of the website stretch to use the full width of the browser window. So these are the styles that I applied to the header content and what they respectively do. This is the result so far. The navigation bar looks inside the same box of the college's name, there is space between them, and there is no bullets anymore. I also changed the colors of the background and borders of the header and footer to this dark red color. And this is the result. Now we'll show how I styled the navigation bar. First, I deleted the previous navigation style. Then I applied all these styles to it, including fonts, size, and specific styles for the navigation links. And voila, this is the result of that styles. Now, let's quickly review the styles in the name of the college. These two sets of rules compose the name of the college. I applied two different fonts to the heading and subheading and different font sizes too. And this is how it looks with the final styles. Now, let's move forward to how I did the buttons, starting with the HTML. Instead of the featured lessons being displayed like a list, I coded them as buttons, applying one class for the group of the buttons and another for each button. And this is the result. Starting with the button group class that wraps all the buttons, I apply styles that set the height, width, gap, and display the buttons in a grid with two columns. This style applied to the list button rule sets up the size of the buttons, fonts, and centers them. Now let's see the result. It looks good. And before setting up the color's background and hover effect, I needed to point out that the B element here serves as an additional styling class alongside list button. So taking this into consideration, I used the rule B to define the rest of the styles. And this is the result. We have a modern looking buttons with a hover effect. Now, the last style that I'm going to briefly demonstrate is how I set up the image. First, let's review the final result that I achieved. There is a text, an image as a background with a gradient effect. Now, let's jump to the HTML. For the text, I created three different classes, one for the whole content, one for the gradient effect, and one for the text itself. This href text here refers to the external links with their respective arrows icons. So here in the CSS, we have the image as the background of the text, and I set the height, position, etc. And let's see how it looks. It looks pretty ugly, but we are going to fix that, starting by setting the width of the section to 100% and removing the float effect, which we don't need. The section now gets the full width of the screen. Now let's get rid of this extra padding and margin. So we are going to start by removing all the paddings styles. We don't need them for this design. Done, the right and left paddings are gone. And now let's set the A2 with margin 0 to get rid of the extra margin between the image and the header. So done, that margin is gone too. Now I will jump straight to show the rest of the CSS styles. So these are the styles that I apply to the text, like fonts, colors, etc. And here's the gradient effect that goes in the top of the image. And these are the icon sizes. As you can see, if I remove them, like the original one looks like huge, and if I set them back, they look nice and set. Missing something here is the font. Let me set the font and the body really quick. And so that's it. I demonstrated the main styles of the web page. Of course, the final version has way more styles here, which I'm not breaking down in this video, but below is the link to my GitHub, and you can access the full code if you want. I put the comments about what each CSS style does in the majority of the code. And I hope I could help you with this video. If you have any question about the styles, the web page, or want to talk more about the assignments, please reach out. Let's connect. See you.